Well, good day, friends. I hope you're doing well. I'm Franky, and this is the Think Tank. So today we're going to talk about Bryan Kohberger again. Just a couple of little things to go through. I don't expect a lot of updates in the next little while, so I thought we can kind of catch up on some of, kind of like house cleaning, see what else has been going on with that case. So before we do that, if you're not subscribed, please do hit that thumbs up button. And yeah, let's get into this. How you doing all? Okay, I can try that, Lioness. Jessica, good to see you. Mexi. Jessica, Dandy, Shauna. So I am going to... Let's see here. Where to start, guys? Let me see where to start. I'd say from the beginning, but we can't do that, right? So I don't know. What do you guys think about this Papa Rogers? I think that's maybe a spot to start. Do you think both of those aliases could be Bryan? I don't think Papa Rogers is actually posted since Bryan ended up in the Who Scout. And I'm not too sure about the other account. I've only been kind of watching Papa Rogers and seeing what people are commenting about. Slingin', good to see you. Okay, so I think what I'll do is we'll start here. Papa Rogers. So this is Clay Travis. Eyewitness came face-to-face with a Facebook user by the alias Papa Rogers posted several specific predictions about the Idaho unaliving case before the arrest of Bryan Kohberger on December 30th. As per the probable cause affidavit, Papa Rogers possesses near psychic abilities. So there we go. What do you think? Do you think there's a likeness? Rogers' suspicions were so on point that former FBI Jennifer Coffendorfer believes Bryan Kohberger did create this account. So what do you guys think? I'm going to pop back because I really am curious. What do you guys think of Papa Rogers? I think there's a pretty strong likeness there myself. Wow, hey, this little bastard. Last week, Coffendorfer shared a screenshot from November 30th in which Papa eerily predicted that the Idaho unalivers left behind a sheath. So yeah, this came out literally on November 30th. There had been no talk about this sheath. There had been no comment about anything like that being left behind at the crime site. So what do you guys think about this Papa Rogers? I've followed hashtag Papa Rogers comments with intrigue. This comment was one in particular that after the release of the PCA, the comments just seemed to hit home, tweeted Jennifer. So this is her post. This is Papa Rogers. Of the evidence released, the murder weapon has been consistent as a large fixed blade knife. This leads me to believe they found the sheath. This evidence was released prior to the autopsies. So what would make this guy, out of nowhere, just some random guy, say, hey, I think they may have found that sheath? I mean, how would he know that? Usually there's not a sheath. Usually a person doesn't carry those to crime scenes. So the fact that this guy came out with that particular item blows me away, because as we all know, there's more than one way for them to figure out size of these weapons. From Mexi said some things that only a perp would know, and that is the thing Mexi, like this Papa Rogers, whoa, right? Huh. But then again, maybe he's just really observant. I'm still trying to decide. I don't think there's any way he could be observant about that sheath. like I said, most unalivers don't bring sheaths. I think it's probably one of the few times I've heard of something like that. So, and then, I mean, the guy's dumb. He leaves it by what we're assuming would be the first victim. He just takes it off and leaves it. And his DNA is right on that button. So yeah, we'll have to see. I think I don't trust the little shit. So Coffindoffer and online sleuths find it particularly ominous that the Facebook account would have mentioned the thief, right? No, the sheath, so early in the investigation. Consider that not a single expert or crime reporter had mentioned the possibility of a sheath before December 30th, the day of Kohlberger's arrest. Honestly, guys, a sheath never even entered my mind. It really didn't. Police did not confirm until a month after the post that it was a knife sheath that contained Kohlberger's DNA that helped lead to his arrest. I honestly don't see how he could possibly have thought about that. I mean, just a random dude. I'm not sure. Was it a coincidence that an anonymous Facebook assumed this accurate detail? Or did the account creator know something the public did not? It says the later is not the only possibility connecting Kohlberger to the account. See, Papa Rogers is not posted on Facebook since Kohlberger's arrest. After frantically commenting on the case for for a month, that account vanished as police cuffed the suspect away. No one has heard from Papa Rogers since the arrest, said Christine Cameron, the Facebook admin for the Idaho murder page on which Roger posted. We removed Papa Rogers 7:10 the evening before Bryan's arrest. He created a group page that had 6 people in it. Moreover, Papa Rogers predicted the precise time it took the unaliver to slay 4 victims. Like, look at how fast he was in and he was out. I would just assume something like that would take longer. It's pretty sad, isn't it? 15 minutes to make 4 people just gone forever. In mid-December, the account responded to a comment asking how long the assailant appeared in the home with the projection of 15 minutes. According to the affidavit, police say Kohlberger's white Hyundai Elantra drove to the area of the home at 4:04 a.m. and then left the scene at 4:20 a.m., 16 minutes. Papa Rogers also tried to debunk speculation that Kaylee Goncalves suffered more severe wounds than her roommate because she was the target of the attack. An idea her father acknowledged as a possibility. Per Papa, Goncalves' desperate wounds were a result of the knife dulling from the first target to the 4th. Could this knife be dull at that point and it's tearing as he described? So Jennifer Coffindoffer said, it is believed that Kaylee's wounds may have been more severe than the others, making her the target. This detail was implied by Mr. Goncalves. So let's see here. Adding to speculation, Bryan Kohlberger is a PhD student at Washington University studying criminology. His past Reddit posts suggest he was fascinated by online discourse revolving around various murder scenes. He could argue he went to college to learn how to commit an unaliving. That is scarier than all get out. So I'm just curious. I want to see where this link takes us. Let's see here. I'm just trying to find out when this was posted, if there's anything updated. Okay, well, we can take a look at that. Can you guys see everything okay? He thought he was so smart, but what a dumbass. I know, right? Like Jessica, he made so many mistakes. It blows me away. It was allegedly him that made all of these mistakes. Ugh. Cover our butts, right? The reason I say maybe PR is really observant because police announced today's after the murders, that specific weapon was used, and this was before the autopsy. Absolutely. And to add to that, the cops went from asking businesses if they sold that specific weapon once autopsies were released. The 17th, they were no longer asking the businesses. So, one way to know what kind of weapon it is to have the sheath. And maybe Papa R is just knowledgeable. But regardless, he sounds like a creep. Right? Yeah, he's a hurting unit, isn't he? Okay, let's go over here. Idaho murder suspect Bryan did post on Reddit asking for help. Okay, let's just check this out.
Bryan made his first court appearance in an Idaho courtroom on January 5th after he was accused of killing 4 college students 2 months earlier. Leading up to his arraignment, social media users began sharing Reddit posts that they claim were written by the suspect. The posts say, "I am inviting you to participate in a research project that seeks to understand how emotions and psychological traits influence decision-making when committing a crime." The poster identified himself as Bryan Kohberger, and the posts were shared in subreddits like ex-cons and prisons. So let's verify. Did Bryan Kohberger write the posts on Reddit asking for help researching why people commit crimes? Our sources are court documents filed in Latta County District Court in Idaho, DeSales University, and a review of Internet Archives of Reddit using the Wayback Machine. The posts on Reddit appeared in June and have since been removed from the platform. During Kohberger's arraignment, prosecutors introduced an affidavit written by Moscow, Idaho.
So we've gone through this affidavit quite a few times, but just like I said previously, every time I go through it, I'm learning a little bit more. I'm going to print this thing off and study the living crap out of it because there's always something more to learn.
Idaho police, which confirmed the Reddit posts were made by Kohberger. Using the Wayback Machine, we were able to look at the original post. They included a DeSales University email address for Bryan Kohberger. DeSales confirms Kohberger was a student there until 2022, where he earned his bachelor's in psychology and a master's in criminal justice. So, yes, Bryan Kohberger did post on Reddit asking for help researching why people commit crimes. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
There you go. So let's see here on November 13th, 2022, for Moscow, Idaho Idaho college students were found unalived at an off-campus home. Kaylee Goncalves, Madison Mogan, Zana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin. December 30th, 2022, Bryan Kohberger, 28, was arrested at his parents' Pennsylvania home after being identified as the main suspect in these unalivings. He was then extradited to Idaho and charged with 4 counts of first degree and felony burglary. He made his first court appearance January 5th at the Latta County, Idaho courtroom and was denied bail. After he was arrested, the Reddit posts purportedly penned by Kohberger were shared online. The post claimed Kohberger posted an online survey asking for people to participate in a study describing what they felt while committing the crime. So who does this, right? There was some other people that were saying that with their having basically the same type of education, that what he was doing was distasteful and not something people usually did, which is good to hear. The posts were shared with the title "Research Participation Needed" and were posted to subreddits, which are individual Reddit groups, including RX Cons and R Prisons. These were posted 7 months ago. Verify looked into Reddit posts to see if Kohlberger was actually the author. Did Bryan Kohlberger post the Reddit asking for help, research, and why? So yes, here we go. Let's take a look at this.
Bryan Kohlberger made his first court appearance in an
Oh, I think we already did. So Verify was able to confirm that Kohlberger was the author of the Reddit posts by analyzing the posts themselves and through court documents that were recently unsealed. Moscow, Idaho Police Corporal Brett Payne. Now he's the guy that basically put out the paperwork with that affidavit. So he identified Kohlberger as the author in an affidavit released by the Latah County District Court. The affidavit, which was unsealed on January 5th, outlines the evidence that led police to identify Kohlberger as the suspect in the killing. DeSales University. Please see attached messaged and linked statement. On Friday, December 30th, DeSales University learned of the arrest of Bryan Kohlberger in connection with the 4 unalivings of the Idaho students. He received a bachelor's degree in 2020 and completed his graduate studies in June 2022. And we are devastated by the senseless tragedy. We also recognize the impact in this news can have on our community's well-being. DeSales has been expanding counseling service for its students, faculty, and staff. So Verify found Kohlberger's name was recently removed from some of the pages on the DeSales website, including from the 2020 Dean's List. Okay. Just wow, right? What's happening over here? So, Dandy, maybe I'll catch up with you after a bit here, and I will get that number or that name and try and punch it in and see if that works. Let's see here. But now, isn't this the truth, Jessica? I want to know why he went back to that house. In my mind, he went back there to see the result of his work. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But yes, for crying out loud. He was definitely in that area, Jess, at the time, but if he actually went into the home, I do not know. So wouldn't that be creepier than all get out, guys, if he actually went into that house again? Oh my God, man. I think he went back expecting a big scene. That's kind of what I'm wondering too, Slingin, is if he didn't think that he would be able to go there and watch all this activity over something that he did. Did the PC say anything on his whereabouts earlier in the day? Ooh, I'm pretty sure it did. Pretty sure it did. Mexi, do you know that at all? I think the phone tried to connect to the Wi-Fi at 9. Yeah, so they're wording this really unusual. They're saying that his phone touched their Wi-Fi. So because there's so many like towers and stuff around this area, you typically will bounce off the one that's closest to your phone. And it just so happened that it bounced off their tower, or touched it is the way it was said, because it was the closest available. But they are not sure if he was actually able to connect to the Wi-Fi. It's something that they're kind of checking out, because if so, how do you get that password, or did they have that open? Cell records for him start at 2:30 a.m. the day of. Not much whereabouts about his whereabouts on the 13th. Hello, Shauna. Hello. 12th going into the 13th. Shauna. Clifton, I'm wondering what made him just get up at 2:45 and decide to do this. So do you think that's what happened, Clifton? Do you think this was just kind of out of the air, like without, like, do you think this is just random? Do you think he just woke up and thought, yeah, I'm going to go do this now? Or do you think earlier in the day he kind of made a plan and thought, okay, this is what I'm going to do? I don't know. Okay. Okay, Kristen Ward 411. We'll look at some of these as well. I'm just going to write this down. Okay, I'll put that in Dandy and see if I can get it. Slinging. He is such a creep, right? We'll find out later because they did get historical data with the account that was opened in June. I saw an interview with Kaylee's sister saying he was close enough to the house to hook up their Wi-Fi several times. That's what I heard too, Shauna. So does that mean, like, are you reading that the same as I am, that means that he was literally right there because he was pinging off of their Wi-Fi? That's kind of the way I'm understanding it, is it was like his vehicle had to be right there for them to be the first place that he bounced off of. The same day, Shauna. His phone was off from 3 a.m. to 4:30 a.m. that day. Hiya, Mexi. Yay. I'll put that up. Come on, Sean. I love to see you. Hey, Blifton. No, before the attacks. Did he go back to see the work he did? That's kind of the way I'm seeing it, guys. I mean, I could be way off base here, but it just seems to me that he wanted to go see if he caused a stir. Okay. I think you can triangulate through multiple towers, or one tower just gives us radius. Okay. So, like for me, if I'm just because I'm not 100% on all this stuff, for me, if I have my phone, it's going to pick me up, and then it's going to pick my neighbor up and my other neighbor up. But if I'm down there, it's going to pick up their places and then to me. Like I won't be able to hook on to them, but I'll see that they're available, and then it will get to me and I'll be able to hook on. But it kind of goes wherever you are is the first one that pops up. So I don't know if it's the same everywhere. Boy. Yeah, he had to be in the arrow several times before. I wonder if he was scoping things out or went there and chickened out. You know what? Damn good question, Slingin. So what I'm curious about is, do you think that he was inside that house before? Do you think he had possibly been in there? Because how did he know where everybody was? How do you even know where these bedrooms were? That house was like such a, right? And he walked right past Dylan's door like 3 times. So how did he know the layout of this house? I'm really curious if he partied out there. So let's see here. So let's take a look at some of these guys. This is some of his social media. Moose Girl. Hello. Okay, so let's do this. So we got like 2 above today. How's it going where you guys are? Okay, this is probably where we'll start. Scary to know you're being watched. I wonder if they knew. So yeah, it does kind of make a person wonder, is this the same person that Kaylee was talking about? Or is this, was he just sneaking around and nobody even knew? There's still a couple places that I would love to know if this was his car. There's that one by the grub truck where you can see that white car go by slowly through the back window. And then there's the one of the house where a white car that looks so much like a white Elantra that is like kind of behind the house creeping by. It's like, oh. But I mean, I know they got to keep a lot of this stuff. I'm going to do this for a second, guys. Give me 2 seconds, and then we're going to pop over there. Going to do that. I think we'll do that for a second. Moose Girl, is that you, Shauna? Okay, so here. This is back from May 12th, 2011. So if he's 28, I mean, that's putting him at about 17 years old, right? So as far as I know, I mean, I'm not a mental health professional in any way, shape, or form. Anything that I say, of course, is just through my eyes, the way I see things, and from my personal experiences, but has nothing. I'm not an expert. We all have to form our own opinions. So this one here is another name that he was going by for a while, and it's called Those with Visuals Now. So 17 years old. So he is saying here, I always feel as if they're personalized. Mentally, I experience fog, lack of comprehension at times. I feel like my life is a movie, depersonalization. Depression, no interest in activity, constant thought of unaliving, crazy thoughts, delusion of grandeur, anxiety, poor self image, poor social skills, no emotions. I feel like nothing has a point to it. When I get home, I'm mean to my family. This started when the VS did. I felt no emotion along with the depersonalization. I can't say or do whatever I want. Oh, I can say or do whatever I want with very little remorse. Everyone hates me pretty much because I'm an asshole. May 12th, 2011. You are most definitely not the only one. I used to feel like this to the point of nearly taking drastic measures, which I'm happy I didn't. In life, there are up and downs, not just this condition. With having this condition, you have more downs than normal and are harder to cope with these symptoms. But in my experience and a lot of others, after a while, you find coping mechanisms. It isn't something that happens overnight. My progress is like evaluating my palinopsia is the least of my worries. I took Topamax before it just made me insane. I broke my table for no reason. Seriously, I never really cared about the images since I developed them at age 9, and they got intense. Ginkgo biloba worked for me a little. I actually came up with a theory all by myself. It was blood flow related to apparently a lot of you did too. But I think the only way to solve this problem is to find the source. And I might try an anti-inflammatory soon. Thanks a lot, guys. This helped me a lot. I was not sure it was normal to have depersonalization to my extent, but it is. I will not pursue happiness or do what makes me happy. What? Okay, let me see that again. Thanks a lot, you guys. This helped me a lot. I was not sure if it was normal to have depersonalization to my extent, but it is. I will not pursue happiness and do what makes me happy. What the hell? Depersonalization to a large extent is not a good thing. Good Lord. I think the VS is like the visual snow. They're having a pretty good talk here. Mind altering medication might help. Let's see. How VS gets silver worse by a lot. We can talk to specialists about this. I believe visual snow to have something to do with the disturbance in my body that causes these weird blood issues. I feel blank and so generic. I can barely remember my eventful childhood. As I try to think of my childhood, I just become upset and into a depressed state. Think you need a doctor. This is a big spiel. What are you guys thinking of this? Hello, James. I'm just going to go back here a little bit. Put that up again. Come on in and join us, guys. Come join us, James. Okay, let's see. I think you can triangulate through multiple towers. Okay, we did that. Gotta go get my kids. See you in the next one. Thanks, Franky. Hey, Jessica. Great to see you. Have a great day, friend. Mexi was watching CDT today, and she says while looking at the court images of BK, looked like he shaved his eyebrows. Hi, are you serious? Oh, they'll never know me now. Oh, I do think men should manicure their eyebrows, but Lipton is lying. Okay. Oh my God, you guys. Out of order. My children call and chat about that, right? Oh, yes. Yeah, everyone wants a hot date. James. Mexi, the expert witness on eyebrow grooming should be found in contempt. Wait, where's Franky? Hello. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's go back. So yeah, this is a fairly long one. So damaged. It's like I have brain damage. I'm stuck in the depths of my mind where I have to constantly battle my demons. Or am I here or am I fake? I feel myself slipping away. I hear screams faintly, but I constantly battle away from it. What if I let go? Where would I be? Would I ever come back to reality? I try to remember where I originated from, but I can't. I barely remember my childhood. I often fear being 80 years old, alone, and having faint memories of my parents, everything I missed out on. I think my father, what a good man he is, how I treat him like dirt because I have a condition and I can't take it. I might spiral out of control and lose myself in the void. Let's see, I can't let it all go. All of these regrets I predict for my future self. all of those thoughts of remorse I got when I was in my stage of discovery. Now I look in the mirror and I see this sickly, tired, useless, and stupid man in the mirror. He is a complete disgrace. He doesn't even deserve to live. I remember when I was 15, I would wander alone until 2 a.m. Everything was so generic. Nowhere felt like home. I saw things that were not there, a different reality. It felt eerie. I felt eerie and alone. I died during those nights. I felt like a criminal, but where was my record? I can't talk without flinching now. I used to be this healthy blonde haired boy with blue eyes. And in a few years, I have darker hair, darker eyes, half the body weight. Where did I leave off? I try to sleep. I try to clear my head, but the pressure won't go away. The pain and depression won't leave. Being me in this being me in this whole disease that I was given. I think of this as I succumb to sleep, but I see a large intensity of black, yellow, white fuzz. It makes my mind fizzle, and I can barely keep it in bounds of reality. It is as if the ringing in my ears and the fuzz in my vision is simply all of the demons in my head mocking me. I fall asleep, but I wake up quickly to bloody screams. Is any of this here? Am I brain damaged? No. Then why am I like this? I have these thoughts in my head searching for someone to relate to me. Everyone looks down upon me. No one can relate. As I try to read, suddenly my eyes look bright through the words. When I look up, I see blue dots in the center of my vision. When I can feel slightly calm, it gets when I feel slightly calm, it gets hard to breathe, and I see bright dots in my vision. And I do blank. I have no opinion. I have no thing. Can you relate? Whoa. Look, and it's on. So let's see, guys. How are you doing? Moose girl. Yeah. Let's see. I'm coming up here. Do, 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 do. Especially if they look better than yours. On Discord. Ah, let me see. Let me pop over there as well. Try this one, Shauna. I think I'm a duck. So I think what I'll do, because I'm just going to take another look at this. See if there's anything else that. Okay. So yeah, it sounds like he is having a little bit of problems with reality, doesn't it? She has arrived. So let's see here. So, okay, this is something else I find like really bizarre about this guy. Let's take a look at this. Like, are you kidding me? Oh, no. Oh, no, no. Hold on. Let's see here. I just don't want to platform Coinbase less than a year. I am gonna. Okay, I'll just leave that be. Okay, so federal investigators saw Idaho quadruple unaliver suspect Bryan Kohlberg throw out garbage into neighbors' trash bins in the middle of the night as they surveilled him in Pennsylvania in the days leading up to his arrest. So what do you, okay, I'm sorry, but this just entertains me. What do you guys think of him creeping around in the middle of the night with his garbage, dropping it off in other bins? Do you think that's sus at all? That's kind of what I was wondering about. Do you, is that a form of some kind of mental illness? I think I have heard of this before, but I can't diagnose. I think that may come up against, yeah, in his defense. Problem is when he was trying to be to go back to Idaho, they asked him every question. Do you have any mental illnesses that will prevent you from doing this? No, he said. Do you have anything, mental illnesses that will prevent you from doing that? And he's like, no. So I think he might have a little bit of trouble with that as a defense. I was able to join via the link. Oh, we'll teach you, Dandy. Don't worry about it. It doesn't take any time at all. And it's a great group in Discord. I'm not sure. It goes to another server. I join not. Night refuge worker. Perfectly normal, right? Just unreal. I just am thinking he's like the world's worst ninja. Just my own personal opinion. Oh my God. So he was arrested on December 30th in his home at state of Pennsylvania, rather his parents' home. And Kohlberger is a PhD student in Washington State Department of Criminal Justice and Criminology at the time. So again, this does bring up, why was he taking this? Was he taking it because he wanted to learn about himself? Was he doing this because he wanted to learn how to do this and get away? I don't know at this point. The local FBI field office was first made aware of Kohlberger's presence in the region on December 22nd. The source said FBI agents surveilled his parents' house in Albrightsville for 4 days before he was arrested. And it sounds like they went in there like guns just ablaze and through the windows, through the doors. So Kohlberger, who has since been extradited back to Idaho, was charged with the first-degree unalivings and burglary for the killings of the 4 University of Idaho students. So the person's still trying to figure out, did he have to break in? Like, did he have to jimmy something and get himself in? Or did he just walk in that back patio? Roommate Xana Knodel, Kaylee Goncalves, and Madison Mogan, as well as Knodel's boyfriend, Ethan Chapin, were all unalived in the girls' home between 4 a.m. and 4:25 a.m. on November 13th. And there was 2 other roommates in that house, and they did survive. Out of the survivors, one of the survivors told police that night she heard what she thought was Goncalves say something to the effect of, "There's someone here." But also saying that may have been Xana. On her phone, because her records are showing she was on Tic Toc at about 4:12. So that is terrifying because he was in that house at 4:12. he was in that house, either in the process of unaliving people or well on his way to getting there. That is scarier than shit. And then you've got Kaylee saying something like, there's someone here. Oh my God. So the roommate said she looked out of her bedroom door, but did not see anything when she heard the comment about someone being in the house. She then opened the door a second time when she thought she could hear Xana crying in her room. Then she also said that she heard a male voice say something along the lines of, "It's okay, I'm going to help you." Holy shit. Like, holy shit. You know, just a person imagining this, and it's horrific. I mean, it doesn't sound like Dylan really had any idea what was going on, and I think Xana heard everything. So she said that she did open her door again when she heard the crying, and that's when she saw a man in black clothes with a black mask on passing her. According to the court documents, she then locked herself in her room and didn't make any calls until later in the day. It sounds like, I don't know if she went to sleep, or I'm not quite sure what happened there. Let's see here. It's terrifying. Is everything okay with the sound, guys? Was BK's dad a Marine? I haven't seen anything about that yet. I know that Bryan put himself into the military. Now, I don't know if it was the Marines or not, but he did do that for a while. Let's see. Just double checking. Everybody's okay now? I heard about the dots in front of eyes from a boxer. Sounds neurological, but I'm no brain surgeon. Me either. But I do believe I have heard the same thing. I mean, I can't diagnose anything, but a lot of those symptoms that he's talking about are leading towards some pretty heavy mental illnesses, in my opinion. Let's see here. Okay. His uncle was possibly a Marine. I see white spots when I get overly stressed. Yeah, and I'll see them when I need food. Wonder if that knife was passed down. Could be, but I did look that knife up, and there's lots of them. They're about $89, $90, and you can find them all over the place, kind of like a hunting knife, right? It is so scary, James, just to think that that little girl was sitting in that house listening. And oh my goodness, I'm pretty sure Ethan was she was probably the last person. So she had to have heard and seen a lot. My heart goes out to her. Refreshing yourself. I do. On Discord, there's lots of different links, lots of different cases. I'm on Facebook. I've got 2 sites on there, and they're same idea, true crime. Some of them also has the Canadian crime. For YouTube, I've got Frankly Franky, And that's one I've just I've had the site for a while, not knowing quite what to do with it. So that's kind of a casual site. And then there is historical cases that every once in a while I'm able to put out as well. Some cases like this kind of throw a kink into my other channels. There's just lots to learn, and I want to get the information out on this pretty bad. You know, it was when they didn't know who it was. I mean, all I wanted to do was see this guy get caught. And now that he's caught, I want these families to get justice. Why wouldn't you lock the door? If no lock, wedge the door. I know, I couldn't agree more. I think the thing is when you go so long without any kind of major crime that you get really comfortable with your situation. And sadly, I mean, I know that in small towns that I've lived in, I've done the same thing. Not smart, but I did it. Poor sweet girl. Yeah. Saying that is a whole other level of psycho. Yeah, this guy's just like, what the hell? The timeline is insane. They spot him driving around at 4:04, and Dylan sees him leaving at 4:17. Exactly, and look at all the damage he did. Oh, the statement that statement has given me nightmares for real. Yeah, wedge the door, jump out the window. Yeah. I'll keep trying this Discord thing. I'm dying to join. We'll get you all figured out. Not a problem. I can't explain Dylan. There could be a lot of things that can factor into her response or lack thereof, so I'm not going to spend too much time trying to figure that out. No, I'm not an expert on the human mind, so yeah, it's a question I'm sure that will be answered soon enough. My guy has a gun in the headboard. In Colorado, we shoot, then ask. Good job. Good job. We are not allowed to have those out here. They're even talking about taking our hunting ones away. I'm going to chalk it up as it is what it is. It happened. I'm sure if she's not involved, she will be her worst critic. So not added to her fire. Well said. I think he wanted to be a ranger. Rangers have knives, obsessed over military and police. Yeah, because he did want to work with the police too. He was in the process of asking them for what? Right, Maxie? She has to live with this forever, whatever happened that night. Yeah, it's just damn scary, guys. He just helped himself. He went in there and he just took what he wanted and got rid of what he didn't. So basically, whatever he gets, he gets. So I'm not going to do much of this just because of who it's through, but it says there's new video possibly showing his car drive by this scene. So let's see if this comes up. So it says that his Hyundai may have been caught on video driving near the scene after he allegedly unalived. This is from TMZ. That's why I don't want to do a heck of a lot, but I am curious as to what he's got on here. Oh, yeah. Let's see that again. Looky, looky. I don't know, guys. What do you think? So that's what they're saying, that there's a possibility that he was driving by the scene. I'm sure they will follow those pings. So this one I just thought was interesting. Someone's talking about going out on a date with him. So Tinder date. Let's check it out. So woman details Tinder date with Bryan Kohberger, said he kept trying to touch her. Oh, he's so gross. He's so gross. Here. Add loading. I just took the volume off, I don't want a copyright strike. Okay, so it says a woman has detailed the Tinder date she said she went on with Bryan Kohberger, the 28-year-old charged in the unalivings of the university.
Every project is a personalized experience, custom designed, built, and installed by true craftsmen. We create exactly what you want. So you're getting.
There we are. The woman went to the movies with Kohberger after matching with him on a dating app. Oh, so in a Tic Toc video posted on Monday, I'm not sure when that would have been, which has been viewed more than 1 million times, we matched on Tinder. We talked for a couple hours and he was like, hey, you want to go to the movies? I was sure. So we went to the movies. The date took place about 7 years ago, the woman said. However, her contact with Kohberger was very brief, lasting no more than 24 hours. So let's see this.
One lady came forward and said she had a date with Bryan. Then,
hey, it's me, the girl that went on a Tinder date with Bryan. A lot of people have been trying to dox me, specifically on Reddit, but I never thought the comments that I made on Hobot News would make it to TikTok or Reddit or literally anything. But here we are. So I thought I would make this because a lot of people are just saying things that are not true at all. My interactions with Bryan were very brief. I don't know much about him. My total interactions with him were like 24 hours. We matched on Tinder. We talked for a couple hours and then he was like, hey, you want to go to the movies with me tonight? And I was like, sure. So we went to the movies. Honestly, I don't even remember what movie we saw. We ended up going back to my dorm, and he kind of invited himself inside. I thought he was just going to drop me off, but that was not the case. He kind of invited himself inside, and I was just like, okay, I went along with it. So he wanted to watch another movie on Netflix, and I said, sure. He kept trying to touch me, not like inappropriately, just like trying to tickle me and like rub my shoulders and stuff. And I was like, why are you touching me, or what are you doing? And he would just like get super serious, and he's like, I'm not. And I'm like, you are though. And he's like, I'm not touching you. Kind of like trying to gaslight me into thinking that he didn't touch me, which was weird. But then I was like, I'm just gonna run to the bathroom quick. And he was like, okay. And then he followed me to the bathroom, which I thought was kind of weird. So like in the dorm there was like a shared bathroom. He didn't go in with me, but like he stood outside the door, and like, I don't know, I just thought that was weird. And I was like, I need to get this dude to leave. Like, just not into it. So I proceeded to pretend to throw up to get him to leave. It wasn't because I was scared of him or like thought he would hurt me if I asked him to leave. It was just mostly because I'm socially awkward, didn't know how to ask him to leave. So that's what I did. He ended up messaging me on Tinder that he was gonna go, and I was like, awesome, my plan worked. And then about an hour later he texted me and said I had good birthing hips, so I never talked to him.
Whoa. There you go. That'll get you a second date. Unreal. So this is basically just saying exactly what she did. So it says he's accused of breaking into the rental house. It's that type of wording that makes me wonder if he had to jimmy himself in. And we know that 911 call came quite late. This is very strange. His public defender said his client is eager to exonerate himself. I don't think that's going to happen. Let's see here. So, yeah. Hello, hello, hello. I don't like all the bashing that's been done to that child. This is a traumatizing and life-changing event for everybody. Agreed. Security Security cameras don't zoom into the suspect car, and it should, though. What time of day was that taken? Because what Mark was saying the other day now completely makes sense. The mislabeling of Johnson ID, it should be Johnson WA, because he was going dark for 3 hours. I moved away from the city because of guns. I moved here. Everyone and their brother has guns. Would be him driving around Moscow on the 13th from 5:30 to 8:30. Yeah, that makes sense, eh, Maxie? He doesn't seem to have any redeeming qualities whatsoever. I'd be good on the jury. Me too. Me too. Pick me. Guilty, you little mofo. Oh. The camera even looked handheld at one point. Did you move out to the country? Yes, everyone and their mother's uncle would have guns. Way out in Louisiana, that's where the crayfish live. I want crayfish. I heard there's a way. I'll have to look into it because I'm bound and determined. Mind you, I'd love to go to Louisiana, but I'm bound and determined to try that. It doesn't sound anything like I thought it would be. Like, I thought it would taste like shrimp, and everyone's saying, no, spicy, and I want to. Before opening statements, James would already be yelling, guilty. Yeah, you go, James. You go. I'm with him. 24 hours is brief. 5 minutes is brief. Cops don't arrive before the crime. I believe you should be able to defend yourself with almost anything. Guns, crossbows, cannons, all good. Oh, that's it. Canada, we don't have guns. Like, we're just not allowed to have guns. So, I mean, I've got bear spray. I got plenty of pointy objects that look very familiar to what he used, actually, due to the fact that I go out into the mountains and there's bear, there's cougars, there's lynx, there's bobcat, there's a lot of things that you might need to take care of yourself. And I don't have a gun, so I have a blowgun. It's a blowgun. What is that? Yep, that's the stuff. That's the stuff. Absolutely, Shauna. Let's see here. Mexi, trying to have the judge and back cap. Guilty, my lord. He is, right? A million baseball bats in Scotland, no one ball. Oh, yeah. How's the new job? Very good question. Yes, exactly. It's not actually new. I've worked there before, and it sucks just the same. I want to be on the jury too. Oh, wouldn't we all just be great? Yeah, just like you guys were saying, guilty. He's guilty. Yeah, you can just tell he's guilty. Aren't the Scots more of, what is a shinty? I don't know that either. Being a massage therapist and working for a corporation sucks. They pay about 0.25 of what they charge. Is that something? I don't know much about that stuff, Andy. Is that something that you can do independently if you wanted to? Oh, Mardi Gras. I have always wanted to go to Mardi Gras. Always. That is damn cool. Shinty is crazy game. Shinty sticks are good, but you need a lot of practice to get a good swing. Okay, so what are you hitting? What the hell? What are you doing with your sticks? Sean, if you're talking to me, I have to have a state license and insurance to each state to do it all legal beagle. Yeah, guns in Canada are heavily regulated unless you're a criminal. Uh-huh. That's the scary part. We don't have any way to protect ourselves from those damn guns here. They've got them. We don't. I love what you do. It's fabulous and rewarding occupation when you love all people. Well said. Did they take yours too? Like Braveheart. Damn good hands. How do I set up an appointment? Right? Oh my goodness. So is there anything else you guys want to go through before we jump off today? Is there anything you'd like me to check out? Mexi? You guys, anything that you'd like to see me bring up before we get out for today? I might be doing another live later on. I'm just starting to get familiar with the case, but it's the lady that her husband was just charged, and she has not been located. So I might take a look at that a little bit later as well. So, guys, is that it? Are we done for the day? Well, you guys all know how much I appreciate you. Thank you ever so much for joining me again. And I will try and see, Dandy, if I can get you hooked up with this. If not, we'll try and figure out something absolutely. So yeah, for now, guys, I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.